Okay, so let's continue. We're back and we're going to continue our example number 2. So I hope you got it. You got it. I hope you already have the solution for example number 2. You know, practice does not make really perfect, but it 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 gives you uh, parang sanayan na lang if you're going to keep on practice solving an equation. Okay, so let's start again to our example number 2, rational inequalities. So again, when we say inequalities, we are talking about greater than, less than, greater than or equal, or less than or equal. Okay, so in example, in this case, we have here the steps. So first thing is you're going to put the rational inequality in general form. So dapat 0. Okay? Okay. So we have here an example number 1. 3 over x minus 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. So this is negative 1. We're going to transfer to the left side. This will become positive 1 and this will become 0. So that is our general form. So that is step 1. Step 2, write the inequality into a single rational expression. You know, in this step 1, it's not single because we still have this plus 1 on the side. So what you're going to do, look for the LCD, this one. What did we do? That's why we have here in our for example, because LCD is helpful in answering the inequalities. Okay, so we have now this one. Next thing, ma'am, nga nun may abot, ma'am, bakit pero nag-x minus 2 sa numerator? Dahil yan, di ba, we have here 3 over x minus 2 plus 1. So, you know, our LCD is x minus 2. So, kanon, nangyari, yung LCD is x minus 2, tapos, naiwan yung 3, tapos, ito yung 1 times x minus 2. Yeah, kaya nga, ito yon. Okay? So, next, let's proceed. So, we are going to distribute 1. So, we have now 3 plus x minus 2 over x minus 2. Kaya, x minus 1 na lang dito dahil ito yung x, this one is the x, and then 3 minus 2 is 1. So, we have now x minus 1, x plus 1, x plus 1 over x minus 2. Okay? Next step is equate natin yung numerator to 0 para mahanap natin yung x, and then the same thing sa denominator. So, x plus 1 is 0, and then x minus 2 is 0. So, we have here the number line. So, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. So, ito yon, open circle. Zoom ko, open circle. Okay, so plot the critical values. These are the critical values here. Negative 1, this one, negative 1, and 2. So, critical values. So, substitute. Tingnan natin kung included ba or not included in the solution. When you say included, it will satisfy that this one is less than or equal to negative 1. It will not be included if hindi siya less than sa negative 1. So, substitute. So, x is equals to negative 1. So, we have here, so we have 3 over negative 3 that is equal to 1. So, that's why we have check here. So, therefore, x equals to negative 1 is included in the solution. Let's proceed to x is equals to 2. So, we have here 2. So, 3 over 2 minus 2, that is 0. Remember that if the denominator is 0, that is undefined. Therefore, x equals to 2 is not included in the solution. Okay? So, next step is select test value in each interval and substitute those values in the inequality. Okay? So, this will make us a general. We're going to make the solution set. So, substitute here. This negative 2, where did we get that? This is here. You're going to look at the different sides. Less than negative 1, Those part here going to the left. Since these are the critical values, right? Remember, these are the critical values. So we're going to look at on the left side. We're going to look at on the center, and we're also looking for the right side. It's either of the three. Yeah. That's why we have here x equals to negative 2. X is equals to negative 2 represents to the left side that is less than negative 1. X equals to 0 represents the center or the in between negative 1 and 2. This one. In between negative 1 and negative 2. This x equals to 3 here represents the number greater than 2. Okay, so you can see the three parts has its own representative. Okay, it's clear. So let's start with x equals to negative 2. You can also use any number, but it should be less than negative 1. It could be negative 5, negative 10, as it still represents the number less than negative 1. So as we substitute that 1 here, this is false, meaning this on the left side is not included. Okay? And when we represent here x is equals to 0, we are not talking the in between negative 1 and 2. This is true. So therefore, it is included. Okay? The solutions here, the possible number here, okay, it's on this one. And when x equals to 3, this is false. Therefore, we cannot have the solution that is greater than 2. So as you can see here in our first number 5, negative 1 is checked. See, though it means that it is included in the solution. So that's why, as you can see here clearly, it is black or close black because it means that it is included. And this one is open hole. It means that it is not included. Okay? Based on our fifth step falls true, this one only holds true. It is the number between negative 1 and 2. So that is our final answer. Okay? As you can see here, we are using here bracket. Bracket means included. And this parenthesis here is not included. It means that it starts with the solution for this equation here. This one, the solution for this equation here starts with that holds true. Okay, again, the solution of this rational inequality that holds true is only from negative 1, which is accepted, but not equal to 2, less than 2. So negative 1 and less than to 2. Okay, so if not, we're not going to have that one. You can write this as x is greater than or equal to negative 1, which is negative 1 is included, but less than 2. That is also the same representation for this one. Okay, so I hope it's clear. I'm going to present to you also another solution that will make things easier. I'm going to discuss to you the sign table. Okay, so given that same step with 1 and 2, yes, but we're going to stop only still 3 and 4. So we're just going to follow 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so in step 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is method 1. I'm going to discuss to you method 2. This is method 1. This is method 2. So in method 2, we're going to still follow step 1, 2, 3, and 4. So again, I'm just going to copy here step 1. What's this? Step 2, yes. We have the equation x, the simplified x plus 1 and x minus 2 is less than 0. When you say less than 0, we are talking about here negative numbers, okay? Since it is less than 0. So since it is less than 0, we are going to talk about negative numbers. So again, we're going to use again the critical numbers. I'm going to draw a number line here. 0, 1, 2. This one is negative 1, negative 2. So I'm just going to block open circle. This is x is equals to 1, that is 0. Okay, negative 1, open circle lang. And then 2, positive 2, open circle. Okay, so this is our critical numbers. Okay, so what I'm going to explain to you is we're going to make use of a sign table. So sign table. Instead of having an exact value, we can just simply utilize a sign, negative, positive. So we have here the numerator, x plus 1, and then the denominator, x minus 2. And then we have x plus 1 divided by x minus 2 later on. Okay, so first thing is, again, we're going to decide the three. Since there are two critical numbers, then we're going to consider the sides here. These sides here are x less than or equal to negative 1. Okay? The center here represents x is greater than negative 1, not less than 2. And this side here is x is greater than 2 or equal to 2. Okay, so those are the things that we're going to consider. Let's start with this one. Okay, so x is less than or equal to 1. Okay, so we can have it as x is equals to, what are the numbers less than negative 1? Since it is equal, we can use negative. Wait, we're overlapping now. We're just going to make use of it. So we have x is equals to negative 1, and give me another number. X is equals to, say for example, we have negative 5. Why did we use negative 5? Because negative 5 is located here. Negative 3, negative 4. Okay, negative 5. You can use negative 10 and so on. Basta less than negative 1. Okay. So, say for example, we have x is equals to negative 1 here. What's the answer? Substitute negative 1 to x, so we have here 0. Negative 1 to this, the answer is negative. Diba? Negative 1, negative 2, negative. Never mind the answer, just look at the sign. Okay, so negative. Next, negative 5. If we're going to substitute here negative 5, what happened? This will become negative, right? Here, if we're going to substitute negative 5 here, what will happen? Still negative. That's a sign table. We call it sign table because we're just referring to the sign. Okay? Next, let's proceed to this side. We have x is greater than negative 1 at less than 2. Give me another number. Let's not follow this one. We can have, what is the value used here? 2, diba? I'm going to use x is equals to 1. Without. Okay, x is equals to 1. So 1 plus 1, positive. 1 minus 2, that is negative, right? Can you get it? Can you follow? Again, I use 1 because it is in between. Diba, you can use this 0 and 1 only. So you gotta choose which of these two. So I'm going to use 1. So substitute 1 plus 1, that is 2, which is positive. 1 minus 2, which is negative. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Next is green one. X is greater than or equal to 2. So I have x is equals to 2, and I can also have x is equals to 10. Let's see. Okay, so if x is equals to 2, then 2 plus 1 is equals to positive, right? If x is equals to 10, then 10 plus 1 is still positive. Get it? Next, if I'm going to use here 2, 2 minus 2 is 0. I'm going to put here 0. The same thing as here, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Next, 10 minus 2 is, so 10 minus 2 is, diba, 8, so it is positive. Okay, so as you can see in this table, you are just going to see the sign, negative, positive, or 0. So in this case, as you can see here, the numerator, this one is the, wait, I'm going to use another pen, orange. This is what you call the numerator. Then this is the denominator. So again, this is the numerator over the denominator. Alright, so numerator 0, so 0 divided by negative. If we're going to substitute that one, since 0 is numerator, that's okay. So if 0 meaning they are equal to negative 1, so therefore it is negative. Why did we use negative again? Or we can just simply put as equals to negative 1. Ma'am, ano na negative 1? Sige, I'm just going to make things clear. Equal to negative 1. Why? Because if we're going to substitute here, go back to our here, this one, I'm referring to this. Okay, I'm going to make an arrow. This. That's why negative 1 is included. Okay? Now this time, when x is equals to negative 5, which negative 5 represents to this side, going to the left, negative divided by negative, that is positive, right? Positive. Let's go back to this line later. Next is positive over negative is negative. Remember, this is numerator, this is denominator. Next, since the denominator is 0, therefore we can have it as undefined. This is not included, that's why it is undefined. Okay? Oh no, this is not included because it is undefined. How about this one? If x equals to 10, 10 represents here, going to the right, positive numbers greater than 2. So, positive divided by positive is positive. Now, go back to this one. Since it is less than 0, we are referring to negative numbers. Thus, in this final answer here, what is only included? What is only included? The included is only this one and this one. So see, it's just easy to see what's included or not. So if I'm going to make the final table, I don't need to substitute all numbers. I'm just going to choose. Easy for me to choose those numbers. So if I'm going to make those final table, so negative 1, 0, this is included, so x is equals to negative 1. I'm going to color it as whole because again that is included. How about 2? 2, is it included? No, it is undefined, so open circle. Okay, then the only negative here is x between the number negative 1 and 2. So I'm just going to shade this again thicker. Okay, so meaning this number only is the solution or will make this one true. So as you can see here, this is the solution and we still have the same answer. Okay? So I bet that you are going to practice this sign table because for our next discussion, we are going to make use of this sign table. It's easier than this one, though I'm representing this one because, again, there are so many ways to find the answer. So they have the same answer, and then this method too, we're using only the sign table. Okay, so let's try the second example using the sign table. Why not you answer this in these steps, and then I'm going to explain to you. I'm just going to show you how to have the sign table. Then you compare your answers with my sign table, and I hope it's correct or we are on the same track. Okay, so I'm going to explain this to you. Example number 2 on the next video because it's very long. Goodbye.